The Bermuda Triangle, an expanse of ocean roughly bordered by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has baffled experts and ignited the imagination of truth seekers for over a century. Also known as the Devil's Triangle, this region spans more than 500,000 square miles and is infamous for the mysterious disappearances of ships, aircraft, and even entire crews. Countless stories surround this enigmatic zone, from sudden instrument failure to time distortions and eerie radio silence. Despite scientific efforts to explain these anomalies, many believe there is something far more sinister at play, something hidden, covered up, or perhaps too dangerous for the world to know. In this video, we'll take you deep into the most chilling, baffling, and bizarre cases that have ever occurred within this stretch of cursed sea. We'll explore real stories of vanished boats, ghost ships, and airplanes that simply disappeared from radar, some never found, others returning under the most unexplainable circumstances. Disclaimer: this video is intended for entertainment, research, and educational purposes only. The stories and theories shared here include speculation and eyewitness accounts and are not intended to spread misinformation. Viewer discretion is advised. Always seek the truth, but question everything. Got a conspiracy theory or strange story you want us to dive into? Drop it in the comments. Whether it's hidden history, UFO encounters, ancient civilizations, or something totally bizarre. If it gives you chills or makes you question reality, we want to hear it. We might just turn your idea into our next video. Stay curious and remember, don't look up. On December 5th, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers known as Flight 19 took off from Fort Lauderdale on a routine training mission. What happened next would become one of the most iconic Bermuda Triangle mysteries. Shortly into the flight, the squadron's leader reported that his compass was malfunctioning and that they couldn't determine their position. The pilots became increasingly disoriented as communications with the control tower grew more erratic. Despite efforts to guide them back, radio contact was completely lost. An extensive rescue mission was launched, including a Martin Mariner flying boat sent to search for Flight 19. Shockingly, that rescue aircraft also vanished, along with its 13-man crew. No trace of either the planes or the 27 men aboard them was ever found. Naval investigators were left puzzled, unable to provide a conclusive explanation. Theories range from magnetic anomalies and freak weather to alien abduction and time warps. Official records describe the event as cause unknown, but to many, this incident marks the beginning of the Bermuda Triangle's legendary status. The loss of Flight 19 remains one of the most enduring and chilling reminders that some places on Earth still defy explanation. In January 1921, a massive 5-masted schooner named the Carroll A. Deering ran aground on the Diamond Shoals near Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, just outside the Bermuda Triangle's border. When rescuers boarded the wreck, they were shocked to find the ship completely abandoned. The crew was gone. The navigation equipment, personal belongings, and lifeboats had vanished. Only a few days' worth of food remained in the galley, still warm, as if the crew had just left. The Deering had last made radio contact while passing through the triangle. Eyewitnesses from earlier ports had noted that the crew seemed tense, and the captain had expressed suspicion that someone might be plotting mutiny. The ship's sudden abandonment and the total disappearance of all 11 crew members sparked national attention. Despite an extensive investigation by the U.S. government, no trace of the crew was ever found, and the reason for their disappearance remains unexplained. Over the years, people have speculated wildly. Pirates, mutiny, hurricanes, and of course, the Bermuda Triangle's supernatural influence. Some even believe the ship passed through a dimensional rift only to be spit back out, crewless and adrift. The mystery of the Carroll A. Deering remains one of the most haunting maritime ghost stories in American history. In July 1968, a Piper Navajo aircraft departed from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, bound for the Bahamas. On board were several passengers and crew, flying a routine route over the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Like many before it, the flight was expected to be uneventful, but it never reached its destination. Shortly after takeoff, the plane was last tracked over open water. Communications with air traffic control were normal until suddenly, all contact was lost. Despite extensive search efforts, no wreckage, debris, or any sign of the aircraft was ever found. The Piper Navajo disappearance is one of many puzzling cases where planes vanish without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle, leaving investigators baffled. The aircraft was in good condition, and the weather was reportedly clear and calm, conditions that should have made flying safe and straightforward. What makes this incident so strange is the total lack of evidence. Usually, even when a plane crashes in the ocean, floating debris or oil slicks can be detected. But for the Piper Navajo, it was as if it disappeared into thin air. Theories about the disappearance range widely. Some experts suggest sudden and severe weather phenomena, such as waterspouts or microbursts, could have caused the crash. Others suspect navigational equipment failure due to the area's magnetic anomalies might have caused the pilot to become disoriented and fly off course. More speculative ideas propose supernatural causes, time distortions, underwater portals, or even extraterrestrial interference. While these theories lack scientific backing, the mysterious pattern of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle keeps them alive in popular imagination. The Piper Navajo's vanishing remains an unsolved mystery, one of the many eerie tales that fuel the legend of the Bermuda Triangle as one of the most baffling and dangerous places on Earth. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops in March 1918 stands as one of the largest non-combat losses of life in U.S. Navy history. The 542-foot-long collier ship, carrying 309 crew and passengers, departed from Barbados, heading to Baltimore with a full cargo of manganese ore. It never arrived. No SOS was sent. No wreckage was found. The ship and everyone on board simply vanished within the Bermuda Triangle. What's especially eerie is that the Cyclops had experienced mechanical issues prior to its departure, and was reportedly traveling with only one working engine. Despite this, there was no indication of an impending disaster. The weather was calm, and other ships in the area reported nothing unusual. Naval investigations were inconclusive, stating only that the ship disappeared without a trace. Adding to the mystery, two of the Cyclops' sister ships, Proteus and Nereus, also vanished under similar conditions in the same area during World War II. The odds of three nearly identical ships disappearing without distress signals or wreckage are astronomical. This led to wild theories: underwater vortexes, German U-boats, and of course, supernatural intervention. The Cyclops incident remains unsolved to this day, adding yet another chilling chapter to the legend of the Bermuda Triangle. What do you think happened to these ships? Please leave your theory in the comments. In 1881, the American schooner Ellen Austin was making her way from London to New York when she encountered a fully intact but eerily deserted vessel drifting in the Atlantic. The ship was in excellent condition, with its cargo untouched and no sign of a struggle. It was right on the edge of the Bermuda Triangle. After observing the ghost ship for 2 days, the captain of the Ellen Austin decided to tow it back to port. He placed a prize crew on board, sailors from his own ship to navigate the derelict vessel alongside them. But within days, the ghost ship vanished into a sudden fog. When the Ellen Austin eventually relocated it, it was once again completely abandoned. The new crew had disappeared without a trace. A second crew was placed aboard, and again, the same thing happened. The derelict ship vanished, then was found, empty. The Ellen Austin, shaken by the bizarre events, finally gave up and left the ship behind. Some say the vessel was cursed, possibly a trap set by the forces of the Bermuda Triangle to lure sailors to their doom. Others believe time slips or interdimensional rifts are to blame. But like many tales from this region, the full truth has never surfaced. On January 30th, 1948, British South American Airways Flight Star Tiger was on a routine journey from the Azores to Bermuda. The aircraft, a Tudor Ivor, was flying at a low altitude to avoid strong headwinds. It was expected to arrive safely in Bermuda within hours. The weather was not ideal, but certainly manageable. But the Star Tiger never arrived. The aircraft simply vanished mid-flight without sending a distress signal. An intensive search effort followed, involving ships and aircraft scouring the region for days. No debris, wreckage, or sign of the 31 people aboard was ever found. The disappearance occurred just on the outer edge of the Bermuda Triangle. Theories about the Star Tiger's fate range from fuel miscalculation to mechanical failure. However, experienced pilots had flown the same route under similar conditions. The complete lack of communication or distress call and the absence of any wreckage puzzled investigators. This incident, and a nearly identical disappearance of its sister aircraft, the Star Ariel, a year later, sparked new fears and further cemented the Bermuda Triangle's deadly reputation. The UK's Civil Aviation Authority ultimately concluded the cause was unknown, adding yet another chilling chapter to this region's mysterious legacy. If you're enjoying this deep dive into unknown mysteries, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. On December 28, 1948, a Douglas DC-3 airliner operated by Airborne Transport disappeared without a trace while en route from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Miami, Florida. 32 people were aboard. 29 passengers, and 3 crew members. The weather was clear, the pilot experienced, and communication with air traffic control had been normal just minutes before the aircraft vanished. Captain Robert Lindquist made his last contact just 50 miles from Miami, reporting that everything was functioning normally. Then, nothing. No distress call, no radar blip, and no wreckage ever found. Despite one of the largest air and sea searches in U.S. history, not a single clue surfaced. What makes this case particularly eerie is that the plane was flying over a well-traveled route in relatively calm conditions. Some believe a sudden mechanical failure may have brought it down, while others suspect something more mysterious. Conspiracy theories suggest interference from electromagnetic anomalies, wormholes, or even extraterrestrial activity, ideas fueled by the Triangle's growing lore. The DC-3 incident remains one of the Bermuda Triangle's most baffling disappearances. It's a chilling reminder that, even in modern times, entire aircraft can simply vanish in this infamous region, leaving behind only questions. What do you think is causing these sudden disappearances? Let me know in the comments. In 1978, a Cessna 172 took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a routine flight headed toward Freeport in the Bahamas. It was a clear day, and visibility was excellent. Ideal conditions for a smooth flight. On board was an experienced pilot and a few passengers, all expecting a quick trip across calm waters. But shortly after takeoff, the aircraft vanished without a trace. At 12:22 p.m., the pilot made his last radio transmission, calmly confirming his location and heading. There were no distress calls, no reports of mechanical trouble. Then, radio silence. The plane never arrived in Freeport. No wreckage was found. The Coast Guard launched a full-scale search across a massive swath of ocean, but nothing was ever recovered, not even an oil slick or debris. What makes this case particularly eerie is that it's not unique. Dozens of small aircraft like this Cessna have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle under similar circumstances. Clear skies, experienced pilots, no distress signals, no wreckage. It's as if they simply flew into nothingness. Some researchers suggest strange weather phenomena could be to blame. Sudden microbursts, rogue waves, or electromagnetic interference knocking out communications. Others point to magnetic anomalies disrupting navigation equipment, causing pilots to lose their bearings and vanish off course. But without physical evidence, it's all speculation. And then there are the more out there theories: time warps, portals, or alien abductions. While skeptics scoff, believers point to the sheer number of cases like the Cessna 172, where logic simply doesn't add up. It's one thing for ships to sink or planes to crash, but for something to vanish without leaving a trace, not even a ripple. That's where the Bermuda Triangle separates itself from every other place on Earth. In 1944, during the height of World War II, the merchant ship SS Rubicon became the center of one of the Bermuda Triangle's eeriest cases. The Rubicon, a Cuban freighter, was en route from Havana to the United States when it suddenly went radio silent. No distress signal, no SOS, just silence. A few days later, the U.S. Coast Guard found the Rubicon drifting aimlessly near Miami, well within the outer edges of the Bermuda Triangle. As they boarded the seemingly abandoned vessel, they were met with an unsettling scene. The ship was in perfect working condition. All cargo was intact. The crew's personal belongings were undisturbed, and there were no signs of struggle or violence. Even more chilling, the ship's lifeboats were still in place. But there was no sign of the crew. Every single person on board, gone. The only living thing found on the Rubicon was a hungry dog, still roaming the deck. So what happened? To this day, no trace of the crew has ever been found. No bodies, no lifeboats, no explanation. Theories have swirled for decades. Some suggest a rogue wave or sudden storm swept them away. Others point to pirates or secret military abductions. And of course, many believe the Bermuda Triangle itself holds the answer, suggesting a spatial anomaly or unexplained force pulled the crew into another realm, leaving the ship behind. What makes the Rubicon case so disturbing is the lack of chaos. It's as if the crew simply vanished into thin air in the middle of routine duties. Unlike shipwrecks or mutinies, the Rubicon was left eerily undisturbed, floating silently as if waiting for its crew to return. But they never did. Why do you think the dog was left on board? Let me know in the comments. The Bermuda Triangle has captivated the public imagination for decades, fueled by mysterious disappearances of ships and planes in the region. Many of these incidents involve vessels vanishing without a trace, erratic compass readings, sudden storms, or unexplained electronic failures. This has led to countless theories, from supernatural forces, alien abductions, and underwater vortexes, to time warps and sea monsters. These ideas create an aura of the Bermuda Triangle as an enigmatic zone of inexplicable phenomena. Despite decades of research and countless investigations, the Bermuda Triangle continues to guard its secrets. With new disappearances still making headlines and unexplained phenomena puzzling experts, one thing is clear. This mysterious stretch of ocean holds more than meets the eye. Are these events simply coincidences, or is there something deeper lurking beneath the waves? The truth remains just out of reach. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and keep watching, keep questioning, and remember, don't look up.